Hello, good morning. It is a Monday, a day none of us like. Anyways, I've had a pretty rough weekend. Had two tournaments, had one Thursday night, came in second place, 1.5 pounds back, lost three big fish in a tournament that any one of them would have gave us the win. Turned around on Saturday and it was very, very tough fishing, but made it through once again. Lost two or three great big ones and ended in second place again. So that was two second places in a row. Just can't seem to get the W. But hopefully we will this week. We got a tournament Thursday night and we got a tournament on Saturday. I want to talk to y'all today about the sprinklers. So y'all seen the one where we built the valve box, and you saw the other video where programming the controller, that kind of stuff. And if you didn't, there'll be a link to those videos down in the description. But today I want to talk to you about sprinkler heads. So we've been playing with a sprinkler thing and watering the garden and all that kind of stuff for, I don't know, 10 or 12 years now. And we have tried so many different systems, so many different heads. And we finally had to kind of take something somebody builds, put it with some of our own stuff, and it works really good. So in a minute, I'm gonna show you that in our garden, in our yard, how all of that works. But just for now, so that you can know what we're gonna be dealing with, as far as watering individual plants like fruit trees or bushes, whatever you may have, we use a micro spray sprinkler. So this is made by Rainbird, and it's a micro spray fan. You can see it's 0 to 29 gallons per hour, 180 degree pattern. You can get that in a 90 degree, you can get that in a 180, I think you can get it at 270, and I know you can get a different one in a 360. However, this is the one that I recommend for everything. If you need 360, you're better off to, I'll show you when we get out here and look at something. If you need it spraying both ways, I'll show you how to put a T together and do that. But these little things, they just a little thread in is what they are, and they work really good. Now, as far as watering, say, row crop or watering your lawn, something like that, these gun sprinklers are the best ones we found. We've used a bunch of them, and these are the best ones. So these are by Orbit, is who makes these. They're 45 foot is about what they'll cover, and that's based off of a 40 to 60 psi pressure switch on your well or on your line pressure coming from you, whatever you get your water from. They have a 3/4 input, 3/4 inch male pipe thread input. So very easy to hook up. And I'm gonna show you how we do these and how we do the micro sprays. All right, so first things first, on the gun sprinklers, they're easy. You're gonna have one per valve. You can run two per valve. Obviously, when you do that, it decreases your amount of distance that gun will spray and the amount of pressure it'll spray. So you won't get the gallons per hour and you won't get the distance. So what I recommend is one gun sprinkler per valve, per zone. Now, on the micro sprays, they're a little different. You can run 12, 15 of these things on one valve, one zone. So they're a lot easier. Now, Rainbird sells a little black flexible, I guess you'd call it like a PEX pipe. It's a real small, like a 1/8 PEX pipe. And you can screw this head into it. And on the bottom end of that, it has a half male pipe thread. So if you're burying all 3/4 sprinkler lines, you got to get a reducer to get from that 3/4 to half. And then you've got this piece of little, I mean, it's not the size of a number 2 pencil sticking up out of your yard in the grass. Well, when you come by with the lawnmower and you even get close to it, it's going to shred that thing and send that sprinkler a million different ways. If you hit it with a weed eater, you're going to break the top off right here above the valve. I've done that 100 times before I figured this out, and you don't want to do that. So run your lines. You know, if you say you're going to run up, I'm going to show you some stuff we did with the micro sprays, and I'm going to show you some stuff we did with the guns here in just a minute, but I want to show you how to prepare them to install them first. When you're running your stuff for micro sprays, run your pipe, tee it up, and like I say, you can have 12 or 15 micro spray heads per zone. When you stub it up, put a 3/4 male adapter on it. And when you do that, then you can take a 3/4 female cap, just like this, and that's what'll actually go on top of that pipe. Now, when you got your cap, it obviously doesn't come with that little hole in the back of it. You got to make that yourself. So put this on a table, put it in a vise, whatever, and you want to drill a 1/8 inch hole right through the back of that cap. Drill it from the inside going out. Always drill away from you. Don't drill on your leg. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't show us how stupid you can be. Anyways, once you got that drilled, go into the outside and take your tap tool. You can get these at Home Depot. You used to could. They look a little different than this one. This is a really, really old one. We use it just for the garden and stuff. But you can get them in the electrical department, back there in the tools of the electrical department, but it's a tap tool. The very end of it is for 632. That is the screw diameter in threads per inch. The next one is 832, and the next one is 1032s. Now, on these, you can't get this one apart anymore, but there's more down here on this end, 8, 3/16, and 1/4. But we're going to be trying to get to a 1032. So once you've drilled that 1/8 hole, you can set that in there and start it. And you'll go through the 632, you'll go through the 832, and then eventually you'll get to the 1032. Now, if you feel this tap tool binding as you're screwing it in, spin it in reverse 2 or 3 turns, and then go back forwards. Spin it in reverse, go back and forwards. If it's still binding up, take it out completely. And what you'll find is that you've cut enough PVC, and in between the threads there will be a little piece of white PVC. So then just take your pocket knife, your fingernail, whatever, and scrape that little piece of PVC out, and then go back to it again. But anyways, you want to tap that out to a 1032. Then take your little micro spray, and it'll thread right up in there. Now you have your little itty bitty sprinkler on a 3/4 PVC that you can paint green, because hopefully whatever you planted is going to grow green. Drop the cap. But then you can paint it green and you will be good to go. I guess I didn't get that one tapped all the way out, I guess. Make sure you wipe out the inside. You don't want to leave any of them little burrs of PVC in there, because they could get in the end of your sprinkler and stop it up. Oh yeah, much better. All right, so now you have your micro spray on a PVC cap. Got a 3/4 pipe stubbing up out of the ground. Depending on what you're trying to spray, you might have it 6 inches out of the ground, you might have it a foot out of the ground, you might have it 5 foot up out of the ground. I'll show you some reasons why we've got it in all 3 ways in our yard. But you can, like I said, you can paint these green and they don't look bad at all. You'll see it with the lawnmower. You won't run it over because it's 3/4 PVC. And if you weed eat around it, you won't hurt the pipe at all. You won't even hardly take the paint off with a weed eater. So that's the way I recommend the micro sprays. Again, the guns just go right on a 3/4 male adapter. They just screw right on there. There's directions in here about how to set your stop points for your right hand side, your left hand side. They're adjustable, so they're actually 0 to, actually no, these sprinklers are not 0 to 180. These are 40 to 360s, excuse me. Back in old days, the sprinkler used to be 0 to 180. Now it's 40 to 360. So there's a screw on top of them right there, and you can see minus and plus. Plus means it gives it more radius side to side, and minus means less. There is a little silver screw right here. If it's spraying too far, if you don't need 45 feet, you only need 20 feet, you can turn that screw just a little bit and it'll deflect the top of the water beam to keep it to that 20 foot. So these are really good, like them. 1 per zone, and for the micro sprays, 12 to 15 per zone. So now I'm gonna take you out there and show you what we've done with ours. All right, so first of all, look at that corn. This stuff is beautiful. This corn was planted February the 14th, Valentine's Day. Yesterday, I measured that tallest tassel right there, 8 foot 5.5 inches. And today is like May the 7th, I think, or 8th, May the 8th, something like that. So, planted February 14th and putting the water to it, and it is growing. We got some peaches on the peach trees. They coming, looking good. Got the white acre peas coming, the onions, all that good stuff. But it doesn't have anything to do with a sprinkler much. But here's the first one we're going to talk about. So this is a gun sprinkler, and like I said, it's just got 3/4 PVC coming up to a 3/4 male adapter screwed right on there. Sprays 180 degrees, so it goes from this end of the corn, fans around to that end of the corn. That is one zone. Just like that. Shut up, Rosie. Got some chives down there too. All right, this is some potash to go in the garden. We got 6 rows of corn and we got 5 rows of okra. The okra is about 2 to 2.5 foot tall. We're cutting okra off of it about every 3rd or 4th day. Here's another peach tree. Got some pretty good looking peaches on it. So you saw that gun sprinkler on the other side, spraying 180. Well, now we're on the other side of the corn patch, and here's another one. Now, if you don't have like on the other side, we had it up against one of these T-posts coming up to support it. This side, we didn't have that because we got this big old valve box here. So we got some 2-inch PVC in the ground and have it coming up right behind that. So that's spraying back the same, spraying towards that other sprinkler 180 degrees, covering that. So here's another peach tree. Peaches aren't quite as big on that one, but they coming. And then down here we have another gun sprinkler, and it's covering this end of the garden. And this one is set at 90 degrees, so it sprays from here around to here. That's it. Now, down here beside it, you probably can barely see it because of the way the sun is. We're going to look at a bunch of these so you'll get to see them, but that's micro sprays. Now, this is what I was talking about. This is the way that they send them. They want you to put that micro spray in that little piece of black flexi pipe. And if you got that down by the ground and a weed eater hits it, it will destroy that head. Hit it with a lawnmower, it destroys the head, everything. That's the adapter you got to have if you're trying to use their thing. You got to go 3/4 to half, then you screw that into there, boom, and you're good. Not the way we recommend doing it. Okay, so as we come over here, we got some maters. Them things are growing good. Got blossoms all over. Got some big old maters in there. See if I can show you where them big maters are. Here they are. Look at that. Look at that big old green mater in there. That jigger right there is getting ready to eat. It's gonna be a fried green mater sandwich here directly. All right, so these are done the way that I was saying that we do ours, with the cap and the nipple and that. Now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's probably 30 of them down through here. Maybe 25. 25 or 30, something. Anyways, it's on 2 separate zones. So you got that end, and then you've got this end back this way. 2 zones, 12 to 15, whatever, 10, whatever you want to do. You're not going to overload these. But that's your micro sprays, and that's the way we use them. So I've showed you how we use the micro sprays and how we use the guns on the garden stuff. Now, as far as the yard, got the milk can bird feeder. There is a gun sprinkler right here by my boot. So that's one of them, flush mounted to the ground. Now that one's on 360 to cover all of this stuff, watering it. And you're about 45 feet away is how far that gun will spray, so it does fine. Now here's what it looks like with a micro spray down low to the ground, watering this lime tree that's just getting started. But you can cut them off whatever height you want, paint them green, and you really don't notice them that much. There's another one on a plum tree, and they're everywhere. Now, I told you if you had somewhere that you were trying to water something and you need a 360 coverage, here's what we did to accommodate that. So it's a 3/4 pipe coming up, put a T, little short nipple, 3/4 90, 3/4 90, up to the 3/4 male adapter, put your cap on. Up, 3/4 male adapter, put your cap on. Now all you've got to have is one of your 180 spraying that way, one of your 180 spraying that way. Boom, you've got 360 coverage. All right, so here is one more place where we use the micro sprays. So this is a 16-foot cattle panel. That's what we got over there on the big garden too. But anything that can climb, like them whiteacre peas will climb that cattle panel, makes it a lot easier for picking your vegetables. This is where we got some cucumbers started. We're gonna get some more planting, but they growing. They got blossoms everywhere in there, and they're looking good. Got a little cuke right there. Oh yeah. But on this, how I was telling you, you're gonna have some 6 inches, some 1 foot, some 4 foot. This one comes up this cucumber rack and is on top of the post. Now normally we space these 10 feet apart. These are about 6 feet apart, but you want to be about 10 feet apart is what you want to be. But that's on the cucumbers, 4 foot high. Now, if you're trying to do something as far as privacy fence and you don't want wooden boards that's gonna fall all apart, we've got raspberries on this fence. They're about 5.5 feet tall now. We're trying to get them to 7 feet tall and 4 feet wide. But if you look right here, first of all, there's no trespassing sign. Violators will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. So don't come around here. Anyways, right here, top of this post at the back, if you look, there's PVC right there coming up with one of them 180 sprayers on it. Boom, good to go. And these are spread about 6 feet apart as well, maybe 8 feet, 10 feet, something like that. Here's a little sign to tell you what the temperature is. We need to get that I gotta get that raspberry out of the way where anybody passing by can see that sign. Okay, this will tell you what the temperature is. Now this says that the temperature right now, hard to get this phone to focus, but it's about 86 degrees out here right now. And that sign says, we don't dial 911, you've been warned. And there's a micro spray right there on that raspberry. Then if you come on down to the next T-post, there's another one, about 4'6", something tall, another head, and that's how it is all the way down that fence. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope it helps you with your gardening and sprinkling needs. See you on the next one. We going fishing.